What of Julian? It's going to affect his income for the rest of his life. His medical bills are somewhere around $250,000. You're going to have that economist report. It's over $3 million just in economic losses. Just in economic losses. The law says you can also compensate him for his injuries, for his pain and suffering, for his greatest fears. And remember when you heard from Reuben, his friend Reuben? And I asked him, hey, what's Julian's greatest fear? Remember what he said? He said, Julian's greatest fear is being left alone in an injured state, nobody around. Left to grow old, in an injured state, nobody around. Mom's going to die, sisters are going to get married, best friends will move on. Julian's injury is forever. And that's not his friend. How do you compensate him for that? The law's not perfect. We can't say, okay, Julian, we're going to make you 100% now. You win the case. Can't do that. It's like an ugly eraser. If I wanted to erase some of this stuff on these boards, if I wanted to erase this, it would smear it up. It's kind of like that. Because we can't make him whole. All we can do is compensate. The greater the harm on one side, you balance it out with money damages. If we could say, let's fix Julian, at the law, we'd say, let's fix Julian, and what would it cost? We'd say, hey Julian, for $1 million a year, we can make you whole. For $1 million a year. What reasonable person wouldn't do that to Julian? Of course, that's what, if the law could do that, the law would do that. If the law could do that. It can't. All the law can do is measure the damage, the harm. And there's no formula for it. All we can do is suggest what's reasonable. But the greater the harm, the greater the damages to balance it out. So all we can say is, this is what you suffered, this is what the value should be. And I would suggest that for the first few years when Julian was in a quadriplegic state and getting to the point where he was able to walk some, it should be about $1 million a year for those early years. And after that, his life expectancy now is about 54 more years. You got the life tables in there. I would suggest a range between $500,000 in that range per year. But it's for you to decide, whatever you think is reasonable. But consider this. If you have to look at him whole, if he were perfectly healthy, and you'd say, what reasonable person would say, take away my ability to use my leg, take away my ability to use my hand, take my ability away to feel my confidence, or to play sports, or to be with my children, or to have a future, and impact my income. Take that all away, and I will accept in return this amount of money. Whatever this amount of money is what you should award. That's what you should award, considering the evidence of what Julian has gone through in the past, will go through in the future. It's a catastrophic injury. Ford caused it. This is not a mistake. This is not simply negligence. This was intentional. This was gross. This was reckless. This was economically based. This was a corporate policy decision. And I suggest that punitive damages are appropriate in this case. You should check off yes on that. And you should award 3 to 5 times the amount you award in compensatory damages. So whatever you award for compensatory damages, I suggest to send a message to Ford by awarding 3 to 5 times whatever that amount is. They didn't listen to Mr. Weaver. They didn't listen to Mr. Burlmeyer. Maybe they'll listen to you. Thank you.
Thank you, members of the jury. We're going to take a 15